Hey little falcons, and welcome to Writing Workshop. Our brand new choice board this week has a square on it that says all about birds. Let's write about birds. Write at least 3 facts. Remember to include a picture with labels. So that is what we're going to work on today in Writing Workshop. Now Ms. J, to activate our schema, read us this book about Zinkala, or birds, and we learned all kinds of new things about birds. So let's take that and put it in some writing. Let's look at our Writing Workshop paper here. It says, I can write a nonfiction text. So that means we're going to write some facts about birds. I can write at least 3 sentences with correct capitals and punctuation. Now we know that sentences start with capital letters and they end with some type of punctuation. So we have to remember that when we're doing our writing today. Okay, I'm going to start with a quick picture. And remember our book-ish, we don't have to be perfect. We just have to show grit and try our best. So here, I'm going to draw a quick bird. I'm going to draw the bird body. And I'm going to draw a bird head. So kind of starting to look like a bird. Now I'm going to put a tail right here. And I'm going to include a wing and some little bird feet. And then I'm going to go up and I'm going to add a little bird beak and a little bird eye. Kind of looks like our friend Pigeon, doesn't it, a little bit? And I can color it when I'm all done. And now we learned that most birds have a nest, and in their nest they could have some eggs, so I'm going to include that in my picture. And maybe our bird is on a tree branch. So I'm going to add some leaves here. Okay, now I'm going to label my picture. So this is the bird's tail, and that's the bird's wing. Birds have a beak, so I'm going to label the beak and the eggs and the nest. So I have my picture with all the labels. Now I'm going to start writing. What do you remember about birds from our book that Miss J read? Right, all birds have, it says in here that all birds have feathers and wings. So that's a fact we can include in our writing. So we know that we have to start with correct capitals. So I'm going to start with a capital A, and I'm going to write the word all. All is one of our word wall words, so we should have it in our brain, all. So I'm going to write capital A, L, L. All birds, and we know how to spell birds from looking at the cover of our book. B-I-R-D-S. All birds. I'm going to put a finger space in there. All birds have. Have's another one of our word wall words, so spell it with me as I write it. H-A-V-E. Right. All birds have feathers. What's the beginning sound of feathers? And what letter says F? We're going to use our book to help us with feathers. Feathers. And that's another one of our word wall words. And all birds have feathers and wings. What's the beginning sound of wings? W. Right, a W. And then think of wings. Ing. That's our chunk. We know that ing says ing. And then we're going to put an S for wings. All birds have feathers and wings. What's that? Yeah, I need to put a period to end our sentence. That's important to remember. Now, since this is a period, our next sentence will have to start with a capital. What's another sentence we can write about birds? So what could we write our next sentence about? Let's look at our picture to help us. What about eggs? What did we learn about eggs? Birds hatch from eggs. Good sentence. Let's write that. Birds, and we know that we have to put that capital B. Birds hatch. That's a word we don't know, so let's think of the sounds. Ch, hatch. Ch. Now, in our Being a Reader group, we learned that T-C-H says the sound ch. So we have hatch. Birds hatch from. That's a word that we know. Look on the word wall up there. From. And then we can use the word eggs from our picture. Hatch from eggs. Right, we don't want to forget that period. Okay? What's one more sentence that we can write about birds today? Okay, that's a good one. Most birds build nests. So let's write that. Most. What's the beginning sound? M-O-st. That's our blend, isn't it? Most birds build nests. And we know that when we say nest, we need to put that S at the end. Nests. And our punctuation. Most birds build nests. Let's go back and read the whole thing. All birds have feathers and wings. Birds hatch from eggs. Most birds build nests. Let's go up and look. Did we write a nonfiction text or did we write facts about birds? We sure did. Did we write at least 3 sentences with correct capitals and punctuation? Let's go down and check. Our first sentence, all birds have feathers and wings. Do we have a capital letter and a period? We sure do. Birds hatch from eggs. That's our second sentence. We have a capital letter and a period. Most birds build nests. That's 3 sentences. We have a capital letter and we have a period. So we finished our job today. Now I want you to write facts about birds. Maybe you want to write these facts, or maybe you want to write something else we learned about birds. What are some things that we learned in this book? We learned that birds have light bones and they have a backbone. We learned that birds live all over the world. They live in hot places like a rainforest, and they live in deserts. We learned that some birds live in trees, and there are some water birds. We also learned that some birds fly and some don't. We learned about how some birds eat meat and some birds eat seeds. And we learned about some strange birds that eat bees and little tiny birds like the hummingbird. So what are you going to write about? So you can write it on a whole piece of paper, or you could get some paper like this, fold it in half, and make a book about birds. Remember to have fun, and when you're done, wash your hands. Bye.